Well, can everyone hear me, even people sitting in the back? Okay, good. Maybe we should actually try to see if we can turn off the lights over there. Is there a button for that? Don't want to press all these random buttons over here. Don't want to turn off all the lights.
Yesterday.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks. So good morning, everyone, and thanks for showing up. I mean, it's the first talk of the day, so I think most of the people would probably have a hangover and have a hard time getting out of bed and showing up. But yeah, I'm here to talk about Cloud ABI, a project I've been working on for the last half a year. And it's actually I spoke about Cloud ABI at another conference last month, but this is the second time I have sort of an international crowd sitting here. So I really wonder what you guys think of it, and feedback is welcome. So let me, before I'm going to explain what Cloud ABI is and what it does, let me sort of give a small background. Who am I? So when I was making this slide, I discovered that I've been sort of using FreeBSD and hacking on it for already 10 years now, quite a long time. So the first thing I actually did is together with a friend of mine from my studies, we ported the Microsoft FreeBSD over to the Microsoft Xbox One back in 2005. That was quite a cute project. After that, I started working on sort of more serious projects, and the first big project I worked on was making the TTY layer in the FreeBSD kernel SMP safe. And after that, I moved on to a couple of other projects. For example, the VT driver that a lot of FreeBSD users use nowadays. I was the first person who started hacking on this, and sort of nice to see that it's becoming popular. The year after that, I started working on ClangBSD, and ClangBSD was a branch of FreeBSD where we tried to import Clang into the base system and rip out GCC. And most of that stuff also ended up in FreeBSD head. I'm quite happy with that, especially seeing that Clang sort of becoming really popular also outside of FreeBSD. After that, I started working on C11 support because at the December 2011, the new C spec was released, and there were a lot of new interesting features in that. So I added support for the C11 atomics and support for some of the Unicode functions that were added. Unfortunately, when I graduated, I was sort of, I started working. I ended up at a company where we didn't really work with FreeBSD a lot. So didn't have a lot of spare time anymore. Couldn't hack on FreeBSD as much as I liked. But late last year, I decided to quit and actually start my own company. So what I'm going to present over here, it's an open source product that you can just use in any way you like. But keep in mind that my company also offers commercial support on it. So please get in touch if you think about using it. I'd be very interested to hear what interesting use cases you want to use it for. So before I'm going to explain what Cloud ABI is, I'm going to give two introductions. The first one's called What's Wrong with Unix? This may sound a bit overly harsh, but people always have different opinions about what's wrong with Unix, but it's what's wrong with Unix in my opinion. After that, I'm going to give an introduction on Capsicum. Most of you have probably heard of that. And after that, I'm going to speak about Cloud ABI and Cloud libc. So Unix, in my opinion, is a really awesome operating system. I've been using different flavors of Unix for quite a long time now. But what I realized over the last couple of years is that most Unix systems, they sort of share a common set of problems. And one of the largest problems is that it doesn't make it easy to run software securely. And I'm going to explain over the next couple of slides what I mean with that. It also doesn't really stimulate you to write software that can be reused easily and can be tested easily. And there are certain sort of ongoing open source projects within the, or certain projects within the open source community that have been dragging on for a decade. And in my opinion, those could be blamed to reusability and testability. And finally, I think that systems administration on Unix is far from perfect. We spend too much time